Hey, upset her. See how upset her?
I'm winning. I'm winning right now. I'm winning right now. I'm winning right now.
Cause I'm winning right now, yeah. I'm winning right now. Oh, we're winning right now.
Hello, viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another video on Guinness Business TV, where I discuss educational, personal, and business matters. Another birthday edition of Guinness Business TV. Today, I wish to share again with educators all over Jamaica. I'm very passionate about being an educator. I have been trying a lot of new exciting stuff since COVID, since online school, and I know that there are some teachers who may be struggling in terms of, getting the students all revved up because, as I said before, it requires a different mindset. Different people have different personalities and we express ourselves differently, we do things differently. But as I said, this modality requires coming out of the box, coming out of our comfort zone, and doing things differently. My topic today is lesson planning. My topic today is lesson planning and how lesson planning can help you to deliver amazing lessons. Now, if you do a survey with most teachers in Jamaica, lesson planning is one of their most hated tasks. Yes, and we're being very honest. Most teachers will tell you that they don't mind marking, they don't mind setting tests, but lesson planning is one of their dreaded tasks as a teacher. But as educators, we have to plan our lessons. We can't get around it. We must walk into our classes with a plan. We must walk into our classes knowing what we are going to do, how we are going to engage our students, and a nice, smooth blueprint as to how the lesson will go from start to finish. Now, lesson plans must be premeditated and they must be carefully thought out before putting the lesson plan on your laptop, or if you write them, if you're typing them. You must think about the lesson carefully before you document the plan. You must think about the students' personality, the time of day, because a lot of teachers don't even take into consideration the time of day. If it's morning, if it's evening. If it's even when the students are worn, you have to come with a lot of energy. If it's morning, sometimes you have to come with a lot of energy to wake them up. Because sometimes they walk into the class at 8 o'clock like they're still sleeping. So you have to, get it going, get it all alive. But you have to premeditate that lesson. You have to think about, what will I do to get those students all tuned up and all revved up in the morning? And what will I do to keep them awake after lunch or in the evening? So any time of the day, it's a bit challenging. In the morning, you have to wake them up. Before lunch, they're going down because, they know it's coming to lunchtime and they start getting hungry. After lunch, they would have eaten and everybody want to sleep. And then the last session for the day, they are so worn with the other 3 or 4 classes where you're saying, oh my God, how are we going to get through this day? So it really requires a lot on the teacher's part. You have to premeditate the lesson. It's something I've been saying to my colleagues. Lessons have to be premeditated. Think about it. Think of what you're going to bring to the class, how you're going to start the lesson, how you're going to engage them, how you're going to take it from this stage right down to the end of the lesson. So you have to plan. Now, sometimes you plan your lesson and you have to abandon the plan. When you walk into the class and you're all excited, and sometimes you're not all excited either, because probably the class before you weren't so, cooperative and it, dampened your spirit. But you have to go into every class with an open mind. And sometimes you go in and you're all excited and the students they don't want to say good morning or good afternoon. They don't want to participate. And you just don't feel their energy. And you have to take the plan down another road. You have to come up with a plan B, sometimes a plan C, sometimes a plan D. Because at the end of the day, The students have to benefit from the lesson. They have to benefit from the engagement. You also have to meet some of your objectives, right? So teachers have to really think carefully about their lessons. Sometimes what I have to do in the middle of the lesson is to just change the script. I may have to show them a motivational video to get them all perked up. I may have to have a little motivational talk with them, a little pep talk, a little, something to show them how important it is that them take their education seriously. But you have to be flexible. You have to be adaptable. You have to be able to just move from one zone to another in a split second because you realize that things are not working out as planned and you want the students to benefit. Yes. So sometimes I may not even get a lesson taught, but I may be able to get some motivation in. And I feel like I've achieved something, right? Because the lesson alone is not all. Yes, students need to learn the content, but if they don't have the right attitude, then they're still at a loss. So you want to, provide a holistic learning experience. You want an enriching learning experience for them. And sometimes the plan does not work as you anticipated. You can't give up on them. I've had classes when I started out, I wondered how I would survive. I said the students are not understanding. They're not communicating. They're just on a different level. They're not grasping it. They're not business-like. They're just used to something that I couldn't understand how students pass through 2-3 years of high school and so very maladjusted, so uncooperative, seem as if they have never been to school in a while. And I wondered, but I never gave up on them. I kept talking to them, motivating them, inspiring them, showing them videos, sharing my personal experiences, my personal achievements, tell them where I'm coming from. Show them videos of other persons who have come from very poor upbringing and where they are now. And ask them, what is it that they get from those videos? Because it's not just to show them, but ask them, what did you learn? What can you take away from class today? And you still would have met your objective. So it's very important that we look carefully at how we plan lessons. Sometimes we try to put a quart into a pint. We want them to learn a whole lot in one class and we just keep putting it on them and the students are not embracing it. We need to know when to step back, change the script, dialogue with the students, find out what is happening with them, what problems they're having that may be preventing them from, participating, giving their input, and just being a part of the lesson. Teachers, we have to put a lot in the plan. If we want the plan to be properly executed, we meet our objectives, students achieve learning, then we have to think carefully about what we do. Now, as an experienced educator, some of us believe that we can freelance it. Yeah, man, freestyle it. You can freestyle it, man. You can't just, I've been teaching this so many years. I mean, I know what to do. No, cannot work like that because different classes come with different personalities. Yes, some have a mixture of boys and girls. Some have more boys and girls. Some have more girls and boys. Some have no girls. Some have no boys. And that is also a bearing on how they interact with you. A class that is boys only require a different kind of lesson plan than probably a class with mostly girls. Because you have to come to the boys with something practical. You have to talk with them. You have to get them to talk back with you. It is not easy, especially in the online learning community. So educators, I'm going to ask you to just see how best we can plan our lessons. The thing with lesson plans, if you type them and you're teaching the same subject, you have the plans. Next year, you modify the plan to suit your new situation. Change the activity, change the introduction, tweak the objectives depending on the kind of students you have, and you can still deliver an amazing lesson. Good? So as long as the plans are done and they're done properly, you can always recycle them and reuse them, modify them, tweak them in another year with another set of students. So educators, thanks so much for listening. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this video as I try to share what I have learned with others. As I learn, change, and grow, I want my colleagues to learn, change, and grow. This is Marsha Guinness, your host for Guinness Business TV. Pleasant viewing.